Wrestling fans, it is now time to enter Main Event City!
Good.
Well, it's we're welcome back, everybody watching and who will watch this in the future, to yet another exciting zombie slamming episode of A Match Made in Hell, presented by some of the greatest and most amazing minds in professional wrestling and me. So this has become a very much a highlight of my week. For anybody who didn't notice, we kind of tweeted about this earlier, so this is a really cool thing to point out. So last week for our for the Breonna Taylor family, we raised $1,056. And when we went to make that, when Zweihander RPG made that contribution, because those of you who know about Twitch knows that Twitch money is like 30 to 100 days behind. It takes a long time to get here, so we went ahead and sent the donations we got directly for them to make it. Well, Andrews McNeil Universal, who is actually the publisher of Zweihander RPG, actually met and matched that contribution, so that number was doubled.
So awesome.
Yep. So thank you very much to everybody who contributed. Thank you to our amazing players here. And so, yeah, that ended up raising over $2,100 for us to like dick around and roll dice for a couple hours. So I'm really proud of that. And yeah, going to be a lot more of that coming. I told people to tune in tonight, and hopefully, we'll see more of this coming up, but I have a very exciting announcement I wanted to make, and everyone graciously allowed me to do this. So in the next couple weeks, it's actually Saturday the 27th, we are doing a fan-free 60-minute Ironman match fundraiser for causes. It will be, we were getting that together. It was actually something that our champion, Jeremy Wyatt here, wanted to do. And he wanted to have a 60-minute Ironman technical affair. And he asked us for a great opponent. And I'm excited to announce that Jeremy Wyatt will be taking on Fred Yehai. for 60 minutes in that encounter. That was actually something we were going to do in Journey and here in the Midwest going forward in the next couple months. And all of that money raised will be going to causes that Jeremy and Fred decide upon. And this means a lot to me. It was really exciting to be able to put that together. And I think that's going to be, first of all, it's going to be incredible. Secondly, this will be the first. It'll be nice to get back to doing some wrestling while still supporting some worthy causes. So that is going to be live somewhere. We will announce, pay attention to our Twitter and our social media, and we'll figure out where that's going to be. But that's going to be a real exciting time. So yeah, thank you for letting me have this platform. You are the first people to know, other than Jeremy, Fred, and the camera guy and the ref. But yeah, that's going to happen. It'll be first wrestling back. That's going to be it's going to be interesting. Real interesting. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Big match.
Man, hell yeah, man. That's damn cool, man. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. Fred is
strong.
incredible. Like maybe one of the best I've ever seen.
I can tell you, I'm not trying to wrestle for an hour right now after 3 months off.
I'm like, I make a normal 8-minute match. I don't know.
Whoa. Do 5.
Because I could go a hot 5 to 8 maybe, but man, let's go. Maybe a lukewarm 5 to 8 right now.
We'll walk and talk.
It's difficult to find 2 people who really want to do that anytime, let alone people who want to do that coming out of this quarantine.
Kudos.
Who haven't worked in a while, but Fred and Jeremy are like cardio machines, so I think they can. I think they can do it. Boy, that's gonna be freaking awesome. So
yeah.
I don't think I've even ever seen Wyatt look tired. Like not even a tier 2.
Yeah, he's gassed some people. I think that for sure. I'm not going to drop any names on this, but he definitely has blown a couple folks up in his time. But yeah, that being said, who wants to get into this into Liam's cabin and see about taking care of some more zombies or letting zombie deer take care of themselves?
Can we get a recap of what happened?
Do you want to give the recap this time, or would you like to pass that on?
I think if someone else wants to take a turn, can I not?
You can pass. You can pass. Yeah. Who wants to do it?
So there were these doggos named Snowflake and Mitten.
That's right. Yeah.
And we killed them.
Yeah,
we did try to kill us first. We tried. We didn't really try, but it was obvious they wanted to kill us, so we killed them.
Took us a while.
Then,
we did not do like a great job.
On the horizon, there was a deer that was coming to kill us, and we were like, "All right, we just killed these dogs, but if you want to go." So then, Abe Lincoln, what's your real name?
Lincoln.
Okay. I was like, I feel like Robin Hood Men in Tights is coming to my head for some reason. So Lincoln was like, Dave, shoot me like one of your French arrows. And Dave was like, I got you, fool. And threw Lincoln at the deer. It didn't really matter because the deer.
Whoa. It mattered. It mattered a lot.
It was good to learn we could do it.
Lincoln took this deer down, is what may have happened.
And then, frightened by Lincoln's attack, the deer killed itself.
Also, maybe. Yeah.
Now that is supposedly the deer rammed its head into the tree, broke its own neck. Supposedly, but if you ask people who were there, like Dave and Link, it was all Link, and it was amazing and inspiring, and it puts a song in your heart.
Oh yeah. All those things. It's a bard in and of itself.
Yeah. You are the song. You have become the song. Honestly, this player can retire now because that's the whole character arc right there. You became the song.
Thank you.
And Anton,
Yep.
what's the song sound like?
Welcome back.
Come back.
Okay, I'm ready.
Anton wanted Zweihander. You all wanted Zweihander. So, well, you won temporarily. There was one other critical thing that happened there at the end. Someone may or may not have wanted to see if they could craft a piece of gear out of this. Anybody's. So as we pick up the adventure here, it's been 2 weeks since that event. All of you have been holed up and have taken a careful account of your supplies. You know how long you can last. You're basically waiting for the periods in which the red mist fades and sort of trying to observe. And most importantly, you drained a bathtub that was full of blood. You managed to clean that bathtub up and take. Luckily, he had the tools here in the house to do like leather-like work and was able to, he had been sewing his own clothes. So it was possible for you to work with the ghoul deer hide and fashion yourself a pair of new pants. And you have the first equivalent of a legendary item in the game.
Yay!
And you'll get to pick to call them whatever you want. But first of all, they do give you damage resistance of 1. So it's the equivalent of wearing leather armor when you have it. So you can add that onto your damage resistance score.
That's the under damage threshold?
Yeah, exactly. So it adds 1 to all those numbers in that column. It improves you across the board on that column there.
Question, do zombie leather pants add any fellowship points? Because that shit's charming as hell walking around in leather pants.
They do not, in fact, add fellowship points because no matter how much you tan them or clean them, they always actually smell kind of bad.
Oh.
They always smell a little bit like rot.
I have a question too then. Do they then like help blend in with other zombies? Like
just the legs from the waist down.
Just from the waist down.
That would be something that you would have to test in the wild. I'm not going to tell you that one way or another.
Fair enough.
You can go wandering around and see if zombies react better to you. It's possible they wouldn't.
That's some top tier dumbass science, and I love it.
Thank you.
But
in general, like the experiment that would look like, being like,
okay,
go in there, just go. You gotta see it. Go.
You gotta try.
I will say that's not all they do.
I would like to call the pants stinky booty pants.
You can do that. I'm not sure there was going to be any stopping you. So you realized after, as potentially anticipated, they have carried some of their unusual characteristics of their origin over to you. While you're wearing them, you can actually detect ghouls that are within 100 yards.
Wow. You get a tingle in your shins.
My booty's tickling. My booty's tickling. There's ghouls around.
It could be that too.
I got ghost stains in my pants.
Woo! That's what you guys see me do every once in a while.
It's just like compression socks. Like you feel like you can walk for longer because they tighten up because there's ghouls.
Guys, there's ghouls.
Yeah. The downside is that if you wear them for more than 8 hours at a time, then you start to become like incredibly nauseous. Like they actually like start to affect your head.
Okay.
So it will hurt your rolls and such.
Hyper specific.
Basically, you have what's called disadvantage on your rolls, and what that means is that it's referred to as flip to fail in Zweihander. So if you roll the dice, it changes the tens place on your D100 to be whichever one is worse. So say if you rolled a 19, it would turn into a 91. It's not good.
But that only happens if I wear it for 8 hours.
Yep. Then you have to take them off, and you can't wear them for a day. You basically have to reset.
So first, I would like to detect if there are any ghouls around and then since we're in the house, I'd like to take my pants off.
Yes.
You know, like
Sure, just like real life. It kind of happens naturally. It will automatically happen whenever a ghoul gets close enough to the house. And during the points with the red mist, it happens constantly.
okay.
It happens several times a day. Sometimes one, sometimes as many as four. They don't seem to be aggressive. They just seem to be wandering around outside, and occasionally they'll come up to the walls.
Okay. So I'm gonna
So
keep
we
my
just like
pants.
hear your pants vibrate every once in a while.
But I'm gonna put my pants near the door so I don't forget them.
All right. So,
Something outside. Shut up, guys. I'll put on my ghost pants.
Like, they're there.
right. So the good news is that every day the mist parts for a little bit longer each time. Almost like it's the changing of season and the days are getting shorter. Like there's only in this case it's good. And with Inspector De La Soul's like help of like sort of looking through and figuring out the notes and reading Liam's map, you know that you can get to a safe point that is about 3 hours away. So you'll be able to move soon, probably within the next week. The downside is that you only have a few days worth of food left. But the wagon that you arrived on has been abandoned, and you know there are supplies on there. So if you pick your time, you'll be able to go out there, salvage the supplies that you need for the trip ahead, and be able to survive. But you risk exposing yourself to more ghouls when you do it. So the question really becomes whether you want to try to hustle and make a movement for it, see if you can get to basically the next ranch down the road, or if you want to loot the wagon and take it back to the house and hole up here for longer.
I love looting wagons personally. But I'm down with whatever you guys decide.
Dave is very pro wagon because he knows what food is at that wagon.
Yeah, because it's impossible to know what's on the road ahead. It could be much worse.
I mean, it's probably another ranch though, and they'll definitely have supplies. And we'll, forward time spent instead of kind of just hanging around here more.
Yeah, it's kind of up to you.
Ask the expert on wagons. Anton, what do you think?
Lincoln,
I'm the expert on wagons.
you're a wagon guy. Tell us about it.
Yeah.
Oh, a regular wagoneer. I'm for heading forward, ever onward. I'm all
onward.
for going toward this other ranch. If we haven't hit the wagon by now and we've been okay, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think the finger licker's right.
Thank you.
And, whatever you're taking, it's really cleared your head up.
Yeah.
All right, so you know exactly when, because you've been taking careful account these last couple of weeks, you know precisely what time of day the mist will part, and then roughly what time of day the red fog will return.
I'm assuming that Jack wants to stay in this house because it's their house, right? We're leaving Jack behind, regardless.
Yeah, Jack is definitely going to come along to the for the ride. I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to leave Quinn's character to be massacred by ghouls all by their
maybe that's their
lonesome.
fate. It's cruel, but it runs in the family.
House will still be here. Yeah, I mean, the reason you've been able to survive this long is because you were able to take all of their food, because
Wow.
you basically looted what was left here. But it's a dangerous gamut. But do we want to hit the road when the mist parts the next morning?
For hitting the road. I'm with Lincoln.
Yeah, Dave thinks that Link is a tactical genius now, so he's gonna defer to him at this
Yeah,
point.
that was very. Remember when they threw him and then that was awesome.
I remember.
That moose thing or whatever. Japan. That was pretty cool. So if Lincoln's saying move on.
So Shenzi, just you as they prepare, you obviously have your pants left by the door. Do you want to
I'm gonna put my pants on.
put on the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants here?
The stinky booty pants.
This-
Right? They have a legendary name.
Okay, you gather everything that you can. I want all of you to roll a 6-sided dice.
Can do.
Got a 1.
There's my little sixer. Or wait, no, that's 8. Shit.
Wait a second.
I can count.
Mm.
I got a 6. Is that the
All right.
one where it goes crazy?
No, not in this case. This is a good
Okay.
thing.
All our luggage catches on fire.
So the number that you rolled is how many days worth of food you were able to
Oh,
stash together.
4 days.
I can't believe Dave's in there just like.
you know what?
I'm
This is
filling all the pockets in my pants.
on par for me. I don't think I really eat that much, so
It's a
we're good here. I'll
The name
scavenge
is-
something.
At the moment.
So the good news is that at least for the nameless one of the reasons you probably can't carry that much food is because you have pilfered 8 gold crowns worth of stuff.
Well,
You have made a lot of you've looked in every hiding place you could find, figuring out that he was hoarding money and like valuables around.
yeah.
And directly under Jack's nose, you have been
Wow.
able to.
Jack and I
Jack would
came
have
to-
never known that these existed. So you can
Weird.
take them if you choose.
Of course, I'm keeping my creatively found items. I'm not going to just leave them.
So
Hell
you'll,
yeah.
Yeah.
you might have to see if Dave actually has all the food. If not for the 6 days of Dave food, everybody would have enough for like, because Dave is ogreish.
Wow. Wow.
Charming.
It's 9 feet tall and all.
I assumed Dave was just going to eat 6 days of food. Honestly, I don't know how much a day eats. So
I come over like, Dave, I got a little extra just in case you get hungry.
Yeah.
All right. You gather your belongings and you step out into basically getting closer to dawn is when the mist parts every day. It used to be it was mid-morning, so it's basically moved backwards in time. It's the equivalent of the sunrise a little early. As you step out away from Liam's ranch home and prepare to hit the road, you realize like how accustomed you had become to not being able to see that far, and you can clearly see the wagon and maybe the struggle that had ensued. You can see the blood, and it's time to you realize it's time to move on, and you're gonna head your way down the road. All right, who wants to be in front?
Dave.
Dave leading the charge.
Yep.
All right, who wants to be at the rear?
I would like to hear Dave.
All right. All right. Lincoln, you said you were gonna bring up the rear.
Yep. I'll do the butt stuff in the back.
Wagon expert.
There you
that
go.
that makes me number 3.
Being in the middle is always where you want to be in these marching orders.
That's
It's something-
Is that right?
All right, Dave,
Okay.
roll me a 6-sided dice, and this is the one where you don't want to roll a 6.
All right. I got a 2.
All right, Lincoln, roll me a 6-sided dice. This is also the one where.
I got a 3.
All right. So far, the travel is safe. You're able to make good time. You're able to keep the rough road. It's a little difficult because you're basically sort of following the receding mist. Does anyone have navigation as a skill?
No.
All right.
No.
Dave, we're going to have you roll that navigation test then, and
All
you're
right.
going to flip to fail on this.
Okay. Since we're just fucking guessing, that makes all the sense in the world.
You can find the road, but the road hasn't been traveled that much this year, so it's...
I rolled a 20.
Actually, that's good, because that means even if it flips, it's an 0-2. Dave is able to keep the road, and you don't get lost. You're making excellent time.
Good job, Dave.
Oh, Dave.
I'm doing it. It's right there.
All right.
We're all just like being really like happy about it. Oh, good job, Dave. You found the road.
Road.
So you've made your first hour of travel. It gets a little muggier and more damp as you kind of move in, like you've gone down the hill, these rolling valleys of hills. The memory of Liam's ranch now far behind you, well out of sight. It's unusual to see clear skies because you haven't been able to see those for a long time. And you move into the second hour. You're a third of the way there to what you hope is safety, but you don't know for sure. I guess you will find out. Dave, roll another 6-sider for me.
All right. 2.
All right. And we will have Shenzi, you roll this one this time.
Excited?
Yep.
Rolled a 4.
All right. Another hour successfully gone. You feel comfortable that Dave has kept the road. The difficult part will be not knowing exactly, you know the rough direction, obviously, and you can follow the road, but will you know the land well enough to be able to find this house? Because a disaster would be passing. That would be a worst case scenario. All right.
My perception is now a 5. Should I like try to look for the house and see it?
That would be an excellent idea to see if you can spot the house. So, yeah, go ahead and roll your perception percentage, please. Whatever that the number you have in that +10.
Well, I don't see anything.
Do you want to use a fortune point to re-roll that missed roll?
Are you guys okay with me using a fortune point, or would you rather I not? If someone else has perception, maybe someone else.
I also have a perception of 5.
Maybe you should look before we use it.
We could just, yeah. Let me look too.
All right, give it a shot.
All right, 75. That didn't go well.
Dang it! Okay, so use a fortune point.
All right, go for it. You said
you want to roll or do you want me to roll?
Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, why are you trying to make me the bad guy all the time?
I want you to, because I believe in you.
17. Woohoo!
Ooh.
That is a success. So, as you kind of travel, you've moved past that second hour into the third, and you know this is the time at which you need to keep the eye out. You don't end up seeing a house, but as you come over into one of the past a clearing and back into the forested parts, you notice that all of the trees in this area are burned.
Hey guys, look at all these burnt ash trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can kind of smell that sap, like
tree smell.
Yeah, that sound. If you've ever been near a tree that was struck by lightning, like the night before, you know that smell.
Not actually, no. But I want to hear a story maybe later.
Yeah, it's pretty distinct. So this fire it basically kind of smells like a bonfire. It's not that we're a fire pit. It's not that different from that. It's just always alarming when you get that in nature.
Cool.
It seems to be pretty big, and like you said, like Shenzi can smell it as well as see it. So you know that this was relatively recent. This burn couldn't have been more than a few days ago.
If only we had our detective here to investigate why the forest is burned. Ah, well, what a mystery.
He is sort of passed out on his feet. He's indulged too much, and he no longer is making any sense. He's sort of
lucky.
He was just in and out of things this whole trip.
Do you want to investigate the source of the burn, or do you want to try to continue on the road?
I only have 4 more hours in these pants, so up to you guys.
I mean, hey, there's a fire. If we don't see one now, then like we're good, right?
I feel like that's true about fires.
Wait, you guys firefighters now? I don't know you that well. You guys do firefighting?
Dave's gonna.
No? No? All right, well,
I don't even know what that word is that you just said. Do we have those?
I think it's self-explanatory. Those that do ritual combat with fire demons. You know?
Fight this fire right now. What you want, fire? I have eyes.
Oh, I'll wait till you tire yourself out. I'm just gonna pop a squat, and when you and the fire demons have reached an accord.
They've agreed to leave me alone. Okay, so we're carrying on? Sounds like we're carrying on.
Carrying on.
Carrying on.
Carrying on.
We're gonna call this one a draw.
Goodbye, Hook.
All right, Dave, roll me another navigation check.
All right. There's my navigation checker. Ha! I got 11.
Whoa.
That is a critical success.
So good at road. I am so good at road.
You are the road master.
Oh, wild.
Not only are you capable of finding the road, but you actually find like the horse path that goes off the road that would almost certainly lead to a home.
I was gonna be an asshole and say I don't just find the road, I find a new road. But that's what happened. That is the thing that happened.
This is even better. This is definitely a dwelling, that goes off this path that you've been able to find. You should be close. Could this be the correct path to lead to the house that was on the map?
I think it could.
Check it out.
Totally.
Yes.
So
I
Dave's
don't know.
that's where I'm going. Is I found this good ass road because I'm good at finding roads.
I mean,
So
it looks
that's where
kind of
I'm
like a
going.
horse.
You guys follow me or not?
All
Yeah,
right.
totally.
All right. Spirits are high, clearly. Haven't
Feeling
run
good.
into any terrible fire demons yet, or honestly, the pants haven't buzzed. You haven't had Leah.
I haven't felt any tingles. No, not besides the
no.
normal kind.
Very good. And there might be horses, I love horses.
The
Maybe
batteries on those
get
things
a
are running
horse.
really fast too. This is maybe. I mean, living animals haven't really been your friends here.
Is that you petting a horse?
That was me petting a horse.
Good horsey. Don't be sad.
They have a long nose.
You're gonna make us kill horses, aren't you? I'm a horse girl. I'm against this.
I am also against it.
I don't want
Horse
to pet him
fight.
to death.
Horse fight.
I'd rather fight the fire. Where is it? Bring back the fire.
What if it's a fire horse?
All right.
Yeah.
Fucking metal.
Everybody roll me initiative.
Oh, for initiative.
Okay.
This is a D20?
No, it's a D10.
D10. Cool.
All right. I have a 5.
It is a D10 plus you have an ability called the initiative bonus. You see where that is on your sheet.
All right, I got a 6 plus.
Right.
All right, I'm going to start in my top right. Shenzi, what do you have for your initiative total?
12.
12?
5 plus 7 is 12.
All right. And Dave, what do you have?
Also 12.
Right? Sheik?
12.
Well,
Man, fuck 12.
it's time for yes, 12 indeed. That was good. That's good. And Lincoln Bright Eyes, what do you have?
I got a 9.
Again, a 9.
You always have to be different. Wait.
That, life.
Looks just like, nah, I'm good. I'll wait. I'll see what happens.
All right. You follow the path, and the smell of the burning gets stronger and stronger as you follow it, as it sort of winds its way around these half-burned trees.
I've got a bad feeling about this, guys.
Luckily, you're paying very close attention to the sense as to whether there are any of these ghouls nearby, and you still don't sense anything. But as you kind of come around the glaive into it, you can see the house. You've made your way to it, or at least what once was an inhabitable home. It is burned to ash, basically. You can see the smoke is still rising out of it. It was a wood home, and it has burnt the timbers. In fact, you can even hear the cackling of flame that is still somewhere inside the home. It looks like your safe spot is in really bad shape.
Damn.
Well,
Well,
Yep.
I don't like it.
Yeah. We made such good time, though. I don't even think this is a big deal for us.
yeah, I don't think we're giving the road finding enough credit. We
Road
got to the house while it was still on fire instead of after it was out.
Do you think anyone might be in there? We should try and help, or
The good news is you got here quicker than you thought you were, thanks to good perception, good hustle, and Dave's incredible navigation. So you know for a fact that you've got at least an hour before the mist comes, if the mist does come here at all.
Can we try to find shelter within the still smoldering ruins or nearby?
Yeah, 100% you can. It looks like there may be a couple of outcropping buildings. A couple of those wouldn't be terribly pleasant to sleep in if you know what those are, used for. But
no? Pooping, I'm guessing.
yeah, one of them is an outhouse.
Okay, but let's look at the others first before the outhouse.
Pooping? Is it pooping?
All right. You get closer, you're kind of observing the scene, looking around, seeing what could have happened. As you get closer, you see that there is a figure wearing a black wide-brimmed hat and long silvery hair with his back to you, looking at the burning embers of this home.
It's Gandalf.
I think it's Christopher
is
Lloyd
not
from
Gandalf.
Roger Rabbit.
oh yeah.
We just got sued by the Tolkien family by you mentioning it, in fact. They're incredibly
I
litigious.
am digging the scene, digging on you, digging on me. That's a wizard. That's a wizard.
Hey,
Oh,
everybody.
He's
Hey.
all in black. Gotta
I
get
lo-
the props for a hat like that.
Hey, guys, there's someone up there. Maybe let's.
I thought
But-
it was out.
I know, but let's.
No sold,
I don't know if they've seen us. Maybe we just keep it chill. What's up with this person?
no sold the shit out of your song, but
It's okay. I just know the nameless one. Doesn't know TLC very well. Could we sneak up on the figure?
I mean,
But-
do
sure
we want-
try.
I mean, someone else in this group who is sneaky.
I'm sneaky, but what am I trying to do? Am I trying to
Pickpocket.
what? All right, I guess that could help us learn about them. That's
Run right at it. Or not stealth. There's stealth. That's a thing.
I am a stealthy pickpocket, but he's just a guy standing there alone. It's gonna be I think they're gonna see me coming. You know what?
Yeah,
I could try it though. You guys got my back. If this goes south, I'll just do stuff. You can say hi, but I'll just shake his pocket first.
When this goes south, I believe is what you intended to say.
This kid goes, you want to just call out to them and say what's up and say, can I see what's in your pockets? I mean, it probably
So
go
you want to rob them. You want to be highwayman now. You want to literally
we just want to be safe.
No one said we're gonna take it. We're just gonna ask what's in your pockets.
We're just running. We're riffing here. We're not saying we're gonna rob this person, but we should look at them and see if we do want to know what's in their pockets before we say hi.
Do they even have pockets? Does your robe have pockets?
I mean,
That's the
Part
first
of that.
kind of thing.
He instinctively answers, "Why no?"
All right.
Do you have a rope that you're trying to sell me that does have pockets? Because I could be interested in that. Now, do you want to call out to him? Shenzi, is that something you're going to do?
What do you guys feel?
He probably started this fire.
Right, like Dave is pretty cognizant that dude absolutely lit all this shit on fire.
But I mean,
Okay.
he didn't start the fire. It's been already burning since the
Well,
world.
It could be a good fire, though. Maybe he started a good fire to get
Could be
ghouls.
the brush.
He just wanted to get the ghouls. I don't know. We can get
Seems
that.
legit to Dave. He is accepting that as a possibility. He's like,
At this point, I feel rude because we're just talking about him. He's right over there. I mean,
Dave's just like, I could go get him.
He stands just sort of stiff and upright and doesn't flinch away from looking at this.
Lincoln?
Scarecrow.
It could be a scarecrow. It could be a friend crow.
I'll miss him most of all. Yeah, let's go talk to him.
All right, who will lead?
I'll go. I'm charming. Let's do this.
I'll walk over there.
I mean,
Dave will keep up the rear on this one.
I'm kind of
All right.
nosy over.
All right. You walk your way up there. The figure actually, clearly having heard you, as I rolled a secret test,
You look a little loud.
puts his nose up into the air as if like looking at the sky. Says, one of you is one of them.
Technically, friend, we're all one of them in some way, shape, or form. But who are you? What are you looking at? What do you got going on here? Where am I? What day is it?
He slowly turns, and as he's doing so, he's pulling a long curved sword out of his scabbard, and you can see that in his other hand is a burnt torch, probably halfway down to its handle. And this sword has seen blood. As he turns, you see that he has got a cloth that is actually over his eyes, but that cloth is soaked in blood.
oh hey, do you think that
Oh no!
that Dave has been infected with the ghoul juice?
I was thinking it, but I don't know if we
It's
should
your
admit
damn
it.
pants.
Hold on.
Oh, maybe it's my pants.
Hey, yeah. Tell him it's your pants.
I have ghoul pants on. They're made of ghoul, but we are not ghoul.
That is the least likely story I have heard today. As he stares you down, or at least would stare you down if his eyes weren't.
Well, come sniff my butt. Come here. Sniff my butt.
How many stories have you heard today, sir? Least likely story you've heard today. It's the first one I've heard today, so I mean, technically, it's the least likely one I've heard, and it's true.
He sort of looks away, sadly. It's like he keeps speaking to Shenzi. It's like, it'll take about a week. Then you'll turn.
Me?
You'll join them in the savagery, just like the rest of them.
I'm just wearing some pants.
It's become very clear that this individual has set a massive fire and continues to torch things in his wake. What do you want? What are you doing here?
I've been asking myself that for weeks now.
You know,
Not
we're,
safe here.
we're kind of just passerbys, and we've been killing ghouls too, also with fire, because we're also smart like you. So, you know, maybe, you know, no problems here, really. You don't need to, like, I think you got the fire thing down. You could probably stop with the torch now. The whole forest has gone up.
Good.
Good. Great. Okay. All y'all can back me up. You don't have to just look at me and giggle. You guys.
Shenzi, as he gets closer to you, you definitely are starting to feel something in the tingling
In my
department.
pants?
Yeah, like it's not like the others. It's not nearly as strong, but He
Hey,
kind
man.
of
You said you sense ghoul in us. Well, I sense ghoul in you. Explain yourself.
has a heavy sigh as he looks away again, and he pulls back the sleeve of his shirt where he has etched into his skin 6 notches. And you can see, like, just at the edge of that, his skin is starting to turn an unnatural purplish gray. And he says, I told you 7 days. And with that, he raises his sword to lunge in and attack.
Oh, Victor Zaz, you son of a gun.
That son of a gun. See, I told you we should have pickpocketed him.
He didn't have pockets.
His sword.
Nobody listens to me.
To be fair, you know what? We couldn't have known that he was blind, but that would have surely given us some kind of advantage, right? Just in hindsight.
If he is like advantage to what specifically?
Well, we were talking about pickpocketing. If we'd done that, I feel like if he can't see you, surely that's an advantage trying to steal shit from him.
I mean, you were going to sneak up behind him anyway, right?
You know, he's coming at us with his big sword now, so he sees a little good.
It's
Yeah, Dave's been wondering how he knows what to set on fire, but
so he's maybe that mystery will be revealed. But in the meantime, he is going directly after those the stinky booty pants. He can't abide it. He's taking his sword and slashing them down at Shenzi. And unfortunately, that will hit.
Bastard.
Oh no.
I just made these pants.
Look at new pants.
So this curved sword that's caked with blood does manage to dig into your side. You take 5 points of damage. So referencing your damage threshold, does that exceed your threshold?
Yeah, I'm a 4.
All right, so you go down to lightly wounded. You basically move 1 step down the damage track. He's able to cut into you a little bit.
I say, owie wowie.
Oh, no.
All right. The old crazy man having gone leads us to a whole bunch of people with 12. Who has the highest perception bonus?
I think it's me at 5.
3. All right. What do you have, Sheik?
5.
All right. And Shenzi, what do you have?
My perception bonus is a 5, but my percentage is a 37.
All right. What's your percentage, Sheik?
Oh, 48.
All right. So Sheik, then Shenzi, then Dave, in that order.
Brad.
Sheik, you see this, like this man. This is clearly no normal man, and he is clearly turning.
I am no man.
Dun, 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 dun. Man, they really screwed that up in like the special edition. They took like her entire shine away. I hated that.
right, retweet.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so I see this.
Can you help me?
Yep. It's turned to blood. It has turned to violence.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and stab him in the neck with my dagger.
All right. Roll those dice for me. Roll your simple melee.
Oh, it didn't go well. I have an 89.
Ooh.
It's a
Do you
whip.
want to use a fortune point to try again? Do you want to rewrite history?
This is like in Neverending Story 2, where they kept using the wish balls, right? Okay,
No.
use all the wish balls.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing again. If that's all right.
All right.
We're gonna lose our memories.
I got
No.
56.
56, you said?
Yeah.
So he's wearing some sort of like metallic chain armor underneath that robe, and you can feel it, like it pierces through the cloth, but you feel it catch on metal, and it's not able to pierce it.
Weak.
He has armor.
Weak.
Not a normal man. Shenzi, what do you want to do? You want to put this miserable wretch down?
You do, absolutely, with both of my weapons. Well, it doesn't matter what I want. I rolled a 77.
That is unfortunately a critical failure.
Oh no.
I'm gonna die, all because of my dope pants.
It's a worthy cause. Fashion.
Beauty is pain.
So if I remember correctly, you have like a sword in one hand and like a hatchet in the other. That's like your two-weapon jam, right?
Yeah.
All right. As you go and you're able to pull forward the mortuary sword, but as you reach for the hatchet, it's the loop on the I can't even believe it says the stanky booty pants. It's not quite what you're used to, and you actually end up throwing the hatchet onto the ground just out of reach.
Great.
You've got your sword, but not your hatchet.
Oh no.
Damn.
Do you want to disengage and go after it? If you do, he will get a free attack on you if you go to pick it up.
No.
Okay. So stand toe-to-toe with him. All right, Dave, you're up.
All right. Definitely gonna try and stab at him with my big ass spear. Rolling. And that's a 63, so that doesn't go great.
What is wrong with us, guys? Do we all need to sage our dice? Where's my sage?
We actually just steal all stormtroopers.
You didn't critically fail, so you can use a fortune point to try again if you want.
No, I'm just gonna take that L.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone was taken surprised by the spryness of the old man. He's
This old man's very spry, I say.
You must stretch.
all right.
He's
Lincoln, you're up.
Okay, so you said that under his robe he's got armor. Like, what's he got on his head? Can I see that he's got no armor on his head or his neck area?
Just wearing a hat.
All right, I'm gonna cut this guy's head off. How's that sound?
All right. Give it a shot.
Overconfidence from our last battle.
It's not overconfidence when it's correct. 22.
A critical success.
Wow.
Yeah, take that head.
You can see that he anticipated your motion as he like pulled up his sword to attempt to parry it, but unfortunately your strike was too good.
Fortunately, I'd say.
So roll 2 6-siders, and you know the deal. If you roll any 6s, keep rolling and add.
Oh, that's a 6 and a 2.
All right, so roll that 6 again.
That's another 6.
This happens a lot. I demand to see these dice.
Right there.
Oh, well, you picked it up and held it to the camera. I can make that say anything I want to. No, I believe you. I'm just giving you trouble.
Look.
Oh, look at that. I rolled a 100. Oh, see, there's also a 6. Wow. What are the odds? Okay, so 14 total. All right, roll again.
That's a 2.
So 16. And what is your combat bonus?
My combat bonus is a 7.
Woo.
You chopped his fucking head off.
Hats off.
You know, it catches him square in the neck. It's not enough to take the head clean off, but it is definitely a serious injury. So we're going to see if it definitely took him down a couple notches. We're going to see if he took an injury from that. And he did.
Can you imagine what this looks like? Three warriors just kind of fumbling the ball, and then one just be like, oh.
Imagine it from his perspective, just like, you suck, ah, my neck.
I guess just duck 1, duck 2.
I mean, he kind of had it coming. So on the injury chart, it seems that he has a broken hand. So how that happened is he reached up to parry your actual the hilt of your sword just cracked his hand, which happened to be the one holding the sword, and he drops it right there by his side, and the blow goes through and cuts deep into his neck. He lets out like a gurgling like sound as if someone's similar to what happens when someone's lungs start to fill with blood. But he is not done. He still fights.
Gross.
All right. That's okay. We can deal with that.
Yeah.
And it is his turn again. So he has a quick draw ability. So you see him he drops the torch to one side and with his right foot literally kicks his sword up into the air and grabs it with his left hand. He is Wesley from Princess Bride. He has the sword back.
So he just hit L trigger. That was awesome.
He did. So with that, he is definitely going to go after Lincoln, who he now views as the serious threat. He's not as worried about the booty pants at the moment.
Thank goodness.
And he rolled a 98, so he is not quite as good with that left hand as he thought he was.
Killed himself on a tree branch. Say it.
He has to critically fail to kill himself on a tree branch, but we'll get to that.
We're close.
If he gets that, we'll and he's close to death. We'll see about that. So he takes a swing at you. All right. Not able to do it, but he then takes up a defensive stance. He's sort of waving the lengthy sword in front of him as if he knows what he's doing.
This game's like Rashomon, where it's the version where they're not really good at fighting. That's all of us.
We're
Little
spunky.
league soccer where they all just follow the ball around without actually knowing what they're doing.
That's what we're at.
Always up for a Rashomon reference too. Anything we can fit a Rashomon reference into any game, I'm good with that. All right, the nameless one, you're up.
Yeah, I'd like to throw my bolo at their feet and trip them up.
Okay.
Throw them bolos.
Okay.
Throwing bolos.
I rolled a 29.
That is enough. We're going to see if he's able to resist it or if he is entangled. You definitely have it around his feet. It's definitely going to.
It was a good throw.
It was a great throw.
Fantastic. Thank you. Throw them bolos.
So it breaks him out of his defensive stance, which is good because he was going to prepare to parry the next attack that came in. He is able to break free of it, but you've distracted him enough that he is off his game.
Oh.
Now you're taking him off his game.
Broke his ankle.
Yep. All right. So that moves us to Shenzi. He's able to kick it away. It takes him one of his action points to do so. Shenzi, you are up.
I'd like to stab him.
All
In the
right.
time that he stabbed
I
me.
would like you to do that too.
All right. Go ahead.
Ooh, sorry. I just got excited.
A 0 and a 70 is a what?
So is the 7-0 the first one, and then you have a single 0 on the second dice?
Yeah.
All right, that's a 70%. It's not a critical failure. You do miss, but do you want to use your bad axe ability to try again?
Yes.
All right,
45, and that does hit.
that does. And he is unable to parry or defend it. Unfortunately, you don't get both your 6-siders because your hatchet is on the ground. You just roll 1 6-sider and add your combat bonus.
5 plus 7, 12.
All right. You sort of lunge and thrust directly in. You're able to find purchase between the chains that are in his chainmail armor, which you can identify now. And you see the sort of seeping blood come up around it as he lets out a grunt. He's very, very hurt, but even with that and the blow to his neck, he fights on.
Oh, what a trooper.
He's
Don't compliment him.
Oh, well, I'm just impressed.
his
Where's Steve?
self-esteem has taken a pretty big hit recently, so he could really use the upper. You should really say nice things to the. We could all use some nice words of encouragement.
Had me in the side. He could go to hell.
This is some fucking not all ghouls shit right now.
You had a hard day murdering the forest.
All right, Dave, you're up.
Where are we at?
I got a question.
Sure.
So his torch is on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So if Dave were to try to just muscle him down, just fucking shove him, throw him onto the ground on that torch,
Shackle.
what would that look like roll wise? Is that something I could throw Brawn at?
Yeah, there's actually there is an ability called grapple in the book. It's one of the perilous stunts. So you're actually trying to like grapple and throw onto the ground, correct?
That's fair to say.
All right.
Like a double leg takedown.
Oh, this would be a takedown. Yep. So to take down, you make a coordination test. Is how you do that.
What does that look like?
Yeah, look on your skill sheet to see what your chance of coordination is. It's under agility.
I have a question real quick while David's looking that up.
Mm-hmm.
Player's Path says last skill is your favorite enemy type. Add D6 Fury dice to melee weapon attack. That doesn't seem to have anything to do with me having 2 weapons.
No, and he's not a ghoul either.
He's not a ghoul yet. Okay.
He's turning, but he's not a ghoul yet. He has none of the ghoul abilities.
That's not very ghoul of him.
Yes.
I'm a total
ghoul runnings. I was gonna say my ghoul runnings joke until later, but
No, it was time.
so coordination's
Never
under
a bad time.
agility. You might be. That's probably not a super great skill for you, Dave.
Oh my god, I'm so dumb. I was looking way in the wrong place. Yeah, I was hoping to use brawn on this, and now you're going to make me do agility, and that's my worst one.
Yeah, there is a. If you want to throw him onto the ground, you can grapple someone and like
Suplex
try to
his
hold him.
ass.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we're looking at like a belly to belly or like a shoulder tackle.
Pounce.
Like you can, you can do a chokehold, for example, but
yeah, what happens if I get in the pounce?
Period.
You actually can do that, but you have to get a running start. There is actually a charging takedown, so you can pounce. But
give him a drop toe hold, and I'll give him a senton.
yes.
And then someone run in with the dropkick.
Yep.
Elbow
party. Elbow party.
Yep. You can use 2 fortune points to grab a headlock and call the spot again if it doesn't work.
Right, so you clearly defended that when you weren't supposed to. So
slow it down, kid.
you gotta watch.
So wait, what am I rolling?
Are you gonna just you gonna attack with your weapons? That would be a martial melee or simple melee, whichever. I don't remember what type of weapon you have. It's a spear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I guess I'll just attack him normally since I can't figure out a way to make my brawn the thing that does the thing.
I'm lightly injured. Maybe
I rolled an 8, so it's okay.
I can definitely tell you ways that you can. There are weapons you can take that do brawn damage instead of combat damage. And
that
you
is
can get
interesting.
With that, yeah. You basically have to take like pummeling weapons, like on your fists. But anyway,
Oh,
roll them dice.
I rolled an 8.
That is a hit. All right, stabbing through. Go ahead and roll the 6-sider plus your combat bonus.
You think I would learn and just leave my 6-sider out?
You're gonna need it.
It's a 1 plus 7, so it's 8.
Again, you stab in the shoulder and more blood comes out. It's unlike the ghouls you face because he keeps bleeding. There's no part that seems to be rotten. He doesn't smell quite like the others. This is a human living person. All right. Lincoln, what do you want to do?
So he dropped his sword, right? When he broke his hand?
He picked it back up. It's in the other hand.
Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. Can I tell how deep of a wound to his neck I gave him?
Pretty bad. It's bleeding pretty heavily.
All right.
He's pretty hurt.
I'm going to try to grab him and shove my hand into the wound and just rip his head off. That's my goal.
Grab him and hold him. Grab him and hold him.
God, Lincoln. Wow.
All right, we're gonna call that. I think we're gonna call that a chokehold. That's the closest. We just looked that up, and I think that's the.
We're gonna call that a
appropriate.
chokehold.
I mean,
the most
No,
literal
he wants-
sense of the words.
it's the closest thing you could think of. You're trying to grab somebody by
He's trying to do the
neck.
Meng, where you grab him by the jaw and just rip it.
It's a risky move. You are attempting to grab somebody who has a sword.
I got a sword too. I'm not. It doesn't scare me.
It's true, but most people with swords don't love you like closing in on them and grabbing them by the neck. But you can give it a shot. So that is an athletics test, which is one of your bronze tests.
I'm good at that.
Very athletic.
What we got?
Oh, you do that springboard shooting star. That was cool.
47.
What is your athletics skill?
It's a 52.
All right. You're able to get him. He's going to try to roll with you and throw you to the ground as he comes in. Let's see if he's able to do it. He's not. You actually have him by the throat. He is engaged with you. You're basically sort of like circling each other and like rolling down. And he takes a pretty good. You can see like he's starting to turn like red in the face as if like the oxygen is like. Up. He's now he is struggling with you as you stand toe to toe. Right.
We have a Slayer and a Pit Fighter, and the Bard is the most capable warrior in the group.
Dude,
I'm an entertainer. Are you not
rolls
entertaining.
crazy good. All right. He is going to try to throw you off of him as you have him like grabbed around the throat. And he rolled a 17, so he is able to break hold of you, and he kind of moves his good hand up because his other hand is broken, and then gives you like just a quick kick in the stomach. It doesn't hurt you, but it's able to push you away.
Was I able to hang on to any part of his wound? Did anything come off with my hand as I ripped away at his throat?
Now you did some damage with the chokehold, but he's able to get you off of him at the beginning of the round. But you did prevent him from attacking, so that's good.
Gotcha.
All right, Nameless One, you are up.
Yeah, I want to jump on his back and take his blindfold off. I don't know why.
Ooh.
Curious.
All right, we'll call that. That.
It's just disrespectful. I love
Well,
it.
He's cool as hell. This guy doesn't want to talk to us, so fuck him. We'll find out his secrets our own way.
Right.
All right.
Back
Roll an athletics test for me.
Yeah, I rolled a 43.
That's gonna do it actually,
Yeah.
because he's not
I did like a
trying to.
backflip off. It was real cool.
You're gonna do the backflip off of his shoulders. You're gonna Quackenbush your way off of. All right.
I was gonna Nightcrawler, but we could quack.
Same difference
I
sometimes.
got it from that.
All right. You're able to pull the blindfold from his eyes, which is covered in blood. And all of you get a good look. And he has unquestionably removed his eyes himself and recently. Like you can see like jagged dagger scars where he like basically like dug this out. Like he saw something that he could never unsee and has done this. How he's able to be such a good fighter, these are mysteries of certain clans of the world.
Probably on drugs. Let's not give
Yes, he's on PCP, definitely PCP.
Hi, on PCP.
It's medicinal, guys. It's fine.
We'll tell PCP stories later. I've seen some crazy shit in my time, but not.
I'm
I've seen
calling
some
the
wild
game
stuff.
for the rest of the battle.
Was this the day the
Yeah.
lightning hit the tree?
But you know what? This is a horrifying sight, and somebody brought this up earlier. I'm going to need everybody to do a resolve test when they see like this guy's like peeled out eyeballs. One of them has probably been like crushed, and left some of its like fluid behind. It's an ugly sight.
So
Except for you, actually, Nameless One, because you don't see it yet. You pulled it off from behind, and you haven't seen the eyes.
You
All
just see us barfing, and you're like, "Oh, that must suck."
So
Why
it
would
is
you do that?
I don't know.
it's
I'm not
under
really sure.
willpower. It's cool. I'm glad you did. I think it's awesome.
I'm just curious. you know.
It's hella badass, but like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
now
one,
I
of your,
got this.
it's one of your willpower skills.
yeah, roll a 35.
That's cool.
Dave resists. Dave is able to continue in the fight.
Dave's
I
probably
mentioned
done
it.
that to somebody before.
All of you will be able to continue. It's not going to be that bad, unless maybe you critically fail. But
I critically failed.
did you really?
Yeah, and this person you said does not count as a ghoul.
It's not a ghoul. In fact, as you see the face, you know exactly who this is.
Jimothy?
This is a slayer that you knew and have actually like fought with before in the past. This is somebody who you never would have called friend, but at one point would have called acquaintance years back.
You asshole, you cut me in the hip, Dave. Wait, no, we have a Dave. Jimothy?
So it's a very difficult thing that you have experienced. All right.
Stupid ass Jimothy.
You take 13 points of mental peril, which is on your, you'll see it on your, it's your other damage track, basically, besides your physical.
Okay.
It's your mental one. That's only for Shenzi.
At 13?
Did you fail or succeed, Lincoln?
I got a 14.
Okay, you're fine.
Okay, since I've never used this peril thing before, my
Yep.
thing is a 6, so I know that 13 succeeded.
Yep.
So my first one is a 12. That means I go down to the second one, right?
You lose 2 steps on the mental peril track.
Okay.
Seeing your old friend like this and like
Not my friend.
your old acquaintance. Yeah.
Somebody that you used to know.
Yes. But not the Gautier version, because only the Elliott Smith version. All right. That's a tough thing to see, but you're able to. It obviously like kind of hits you to the core, like memories come flooding back, but you're able to keep fighting. That's a good thing. Dice have not been very kind to you tonight. I just wanted to say that. Your dice have been like brutal.
Nothing below a 5, I don't think, all night tonight.
All right. Well, you get a chance to do that again because it's actually your turn.
Okay, I'd like to put Jimothy out of his misery.
All right.
Oh, that's fine. Oh, good. Thank goodness. 59, and my thing was a 65, so I succeeded.
You dug in. You're able to get past. So go ahead and roll your damage dice, your 6-sider and your combat bonus.
9.
All right. He is now openly coughing up blood. He's definitely on death's door, but he's tough as nails. It's not going to take too much more, but that really, really has him like really close to the end. He is he's not begging for mercy or asking for quarter, but he's clearly a man who wants to die.
Can I say why, Jimothy? Why?
You can't say that.
He opens his mouth as if to answer you, and he recognizes you. You can't say that a flash of recognition goes across his face because his face is a mangled pile of goop. But as he opens his mouth to reply to you, you can hear like his throat fill up with blood, and no answer comes. Dave, you're up.
Disappointing even in death, Jimothy.
All right, yeah, Dave also would love to wrap this up.
All right.
Probably going to look something like just swinging the spear like a baseball bat, just back end of it.
Yep. Do it.
That's
Roll
21.
that beautiful bean footage.
The 21.
All right. Roll your dice and basically
And I
don't roll.
got a 6
Roll again. Let's see how dead he is. Let's just go for fun.
and a 5. So that's 11 plus my combat bonus is 7. Goodbye, noggin. It's off the shoulders now. I used the headway that was made with Link getting up in there, and it's just home run.
As he's looking at Shenzi trying to answer the question, and you hear his mouth filled with blood, you kind of bash him in the side, and the body stiffens up for a minute and goes limp, and he slumps down to the ground. He stops breathing almost instantaneously.
Yeah.
Nice. That's yeah.
Rest in peace, you bastard.
Yeah, he dead.
It's
You're
kind
up.
of like,
Can we check his pockets for clues?
Cool. I want that sword.
Deuce.
I was gonna take his hat and keep this blindfold.
Honestly, it does sound like a fucking baller hat. I would support that.
I mean, yeah, you can take anything of his that you
I like
want.
that chainmail. I won't fit in that chainmail, will I?
Ooh.
You'd have,
Someone
to have,
take that fucking chainmail.
you'd have to take it to a shop to have it ready for you. You want to wear the the Slayer is not allowed to wear armor.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's the downside of Bad Axe.
Someone take it just to sell it then at least.
Dave's shimmying this guy out of his armor like actively.
We didn't even warn him. We're like, he's still like having his last breath come out, and we're like taking his shoes off.
Hey, exactly. Now Dave don't give a woolly shit. He's just like, oh, I got a present. Check it out. Here you go.
Can I inspect?
Yeah, we all yelled dibs and started diving in.
Right.
Yes.
I don't know. Can we just
I
kind of
was
like
kind of
take it?
killing dips while he was still alive, to be honest.
Anything in the pocket?
Yeah, plenty of stuff. He has a good amount of gear. He's got he was much like Shenzi. He's a lone traveler, and this is sort of his job. So he has like the typical tools of the trade, including some money.
Love that.
I was the first to reach for the pockets, so I would like some money.
All right,
Money,
roll a 10-sided dice, and that's how many gold crowns that he has on him.
9.
Yeah, good. He was
Wow.
very rich.
Whoa.
He was traveled heavily.
Got
You see
any
that he's
ring-
wearing spurs, so that means he must have had a horse at some point.
Probably killed it and gouged its eyes out, jerk.
So yeah, anybody want to take the sword? Lincoln, you said you wanted to take the his Kopesh, basically, like his curved sword.
Yeah, I want that. That's right now.
All right. And Dave, you took the armor.
Yep.
Stripping this, when you strip it down, even outside of your wounds, you can see where his skin was starting to become veiny. Like you can see, like he was turning gray and starting to go bad, like he'd been left in the fridge too long.
Like my cheese this morning.
Oh,
Oh, that's sad.
It was.
poor cheese.
Yeah, our group shows more empathy for the cheese than they do for the. Yes, no one dabbed when they threw the cheese
He
away.
wasn't, so no
I
remorse.
was not prepared for it. No.
It was,
He was a jerk. I never liked Jimothy much. I mean, I didn't hate him, but I didn't like him, you know?
yeah,
He's
Yeah,
fine.
he
It's
was-
just a bit much.
he was a fucking cop.
He was like, all right. Have we taken everything there is to take?
Yeah, you got his money. If you want some, if you want to refill, like if you need torches, things like that, he's got some stuff in his bag.
Dave's taking some torches.
Yeah, he's got some generic traveling equipment, basically. Stuff you would use. He does, in fact, have a map, though.
Oh,
Ooh.
Love that.
let's take
Yeah,
the map.
definitely. You pocket the map. You've gotten all of his coins. You've taken his armor, and you've taken his sword.
What kind of shoes you got?
Got riding boots.
Riding boots? Can I like?
Mhm.
Do they have laces? Can I tie them together and throw them over a tree branch?
Bang, bang.
You can. Most of the trees around here are burned, so they might
Yeah.
break the branch. They're not very
Fair
strong
enough.
anymore. But you could find
Okay.
one down the road.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Nah, I'm good.
All right. So you find yourselves in a new precarious predicament. You found a slayer who got lost in the madness and managed to chop the holy hell out of him. He did not, in fact, catch his neck or antlers in a tree, as like happened last time with zombie deer. You earned this one fair and square,
A legend.
and nobody got terribly hurt except for Shenzi got a little shaken up, and took a little cut, but nothing that'll. You've had worse.
I'm mad and peril, Joe.
He gave you a little scar. Jimothy gave you a little scar to remember him by.
Scar.
Little souvenir.
Yep.
A little scar.
A little tattoo. And as that occurs, you look up and you've kind of been used to fighting here in the soot and the smoke. And you realize just on the edge of your vision, two things happen. One is that you see rolling in from the top of the hill down towards the valley, you see the red mist is coming back. Secondly, the pants are starting to do their thing again. You start
Hey guys,
to feel
my pants are tingling and the red mist is a coming.
the tingling occurs. Out here next to a burned out house in the middle of nowhere, it's going to be a tough situation.
Christ, we gotta hide in the shitter.
No, there's other buildings. Let's check them first.
With
All
what
right.
time?
It's going to be a somebody this will be the last thing we obviously do before we wrap up. We got to find shelter and quickly. Who has the best search skill? Search would be an appropriate way to do this.
Where is
It should be under perception. Am I remembering that correctly? I'm not looking at it.
Scrutinize.
Yeah.
nice?
Yeah.
Scrutinize.
Scrutinize is good. Yeah, that is what we're looking for.
I think Nameless one has the highest perception.
Totally.
All right. You need to very quickly figure out with your skill of survival and quick wittedness to see if you can find a place for everyone to shelter up. Alternatively, the only other chance would be to turn around and run, and literally attempt to run away from the mist back to where you can.
We should have gone to that wagon. I'm gonna bring that up every time.
Maybe it'll be okay. Give it a shot. Let's see what the Nameless one can do.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. I got a 44.
What is your percentage chance on that ability? I say crossing.
Perception is 48% plus 1.
That is not only a success, but because that is a critical success.
Oh yeah, we won't have to be in the shitter.
Oh, you
We
can't
find a
see
new
it. This
house.
is me showing you evidence that happened.
I'm like, why are you showing me an invisible?
I believe you. Okay, it's weird because it picks up as like with your background.
I know. It's
That was
all
cool.
mess today, but I'm digging it. It's been fun.
That was cool. That was some like Dire Straits, like money for nothing graphic shit.
So do I roll again?
Show a cup earlier, and the cup was just invisible.
Yeah,
It was
that
cool.
was fun too.
No, I believe you. I'm glad of that actually. So immediately knowing how to escape from sight, the Nameless one looks and immediately knows where to go.
Yeah.
Pulls a couple of off of one of the sub buildings, pulls aside a couple of rotting boards and reveals a largely unburned, untouched door. And as they throw it open, it's a root cellar. So not only is this good shelter, but there's probably food there.
Hey guys.
Potatoes.
I just crash in a lot of places and squat there. I think here will be good, and there might even be booze and maybe food.
Let's do it.
Dave's in like Flynn.
As soon as I walk in there, I take off my pants. By the way.
Make yourself at home.
That's kind of what I actually do in real life when I get home. That's sort of how
As
that. Yeah. Yeah. That's sort of.
It's a party.
So as the red mist starts to roll in, you're able to all scramble into the root cellar, knowing of what that brings, and with Shenzi telling you that more horrors are certainly on the way. Slam the doors behind you and you realize as you slam the doors, pitch black darkness. Somebody just took a torch, though.
I have torches.
I think about multiple of you have. So yeah, you feel that like inky blackness of if you've ever been in like a root cellar, like with the doors closed, it's like a void of color. It's it's one of the just absolute darkness, nothing like being outside. And as she lights the torch up and it casts the flicker across the way, we'll find out what you see next time on The Amazing Story of the Match Made in Hell.
Thank you. This was fun.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of experiences. You've seen a tree get hit by lightning, apparently. You've been in a root cellar. You and I's lives have been so different.
He's seen stories.
I've seen people with PCP jump off of bridges and then keep running. That was pretty wild.
What the hell?
Like on 2 broken legs. That was the story I was going to tell. Like watching people run on compound broken legs is the craziest thing I've ever seen. No, not the craziest thing. Top 10. I imagine if we all just had a story where we told the weird things we'd seen, I imagine there's some pretty good stuff in there. I imagine all of you have some pretty weird stuff.
I've seen someone's skeleton in lightning struck.
Cool.
What?
When I was a very little kid.
Oh.
But they were fine.
It wasn't Blanca from Street Fighter? That's not
No,
the...
because I loved Blanca. I was one of those little girls that had a crush on Beast. So Blanca was also in the wheelhouse.
Yep. It was fun to look and see what everybody's... What's that?
I just learned a thing that some people.
I have a type, and it's been consistent since I was 5.
Yeah. I just learned there's like a Beast Blanca.
Oh,
section.
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Particularly if you picked the blue like color swap on like Champion Edition for Blanca, to where you could get Blanca to look exactly like Beast.
Every time he would jump and bite my Chun-Li, I would be like, oh yeah.
That's the part I was talking about.
Are we still live?
Oh, well, I'm sure we are.
Yeah.
But I'm now going to use Chun-Li as a euphemism. That's a new slang that has been added into my vocabulary.
Do you ever watch the people in the background in Chun-Li's stage? There's that one person who has the chicken, and they're just doing that. And then in the Ken stage, there's this or something like that. I don't know.
Yep, and they get faster when somebody wins.
Yep.
Totally. It's that one guy in Balrog stage who always bet on the wrong guy. Did you ever notice that? He was like gambling on the fight, and he always lost.
He always lost. I've never thought of it that way, but yeah.
But yeah, in those first couple games, like Blanca would electrocute people, and the skeletons were all the same size, no matter what character it was. Like Sagat's skeleton was the exact same size as like Chun-Li's. It was really funny. You watch it; it's a really weird animation. Thank you. I appreciate everybody joining us for Match Made in Hell. Tune in next time for bad sexual puns and more like
Fighter.
Yes, and more discussion of Street Fighter and PCP and root sellers.
Attack of the Killer Potatoes.
Gonna be finger looking good.
Why not? Yeah, we're gonna do some evil plant stuff here real quick. But it's
gotta bring up the finger licking again, huh?
Yep.
I'm every week. It's my favorite thing so far.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, guys.